machine. And what can I say? When you build the machine correctly, it just works. It produces your results.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's poop.
Yeah. Well, it's essentially how science works, or how it's supposed to work. You know, you build the machine, and they will come over
And
and
for those
over
that
and
were
over again.
wondering,
Especially if your name is Sibian.
Twitter is called X because X is short for excrement. That's why I only use it for shit posting.
Wait, shit hosting? Is that
Shit
something
posting.
new? Shit posting. All right.
No, Elon is the one that does the shit hosting. Just ask his dad. Oh, yeah, it's too soon. I'm so sorry,
Might be
Elon.
too
I'm so
soon.
sorry. It's too
Yeah,
soon.
it's not even the top of the hour yet. What are you doing?
But Dad, I've only banged her twice. How have you banged my girlfriend more times than I have already? South African tradition. It's like what do they call it? Prima nocta or something like that, where the king says, "Hey, I get to bang your old lady,"
Something like that.
which is not as bad as Metziza Bepeh. That's even worse. Metziza Bepeh is the Jewish practice of, you know what? This is a Google assignment for the audience. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I believe that's spelled with two Z's.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's
Metzizah.
fine. That's fine. I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify because sometimes it's one Z and sometimes it's two Z's. You just got to make sure that you input the right
I'll
information
put it
into
this
the
way.
Google Demons
You know you figured it
fruit
out
bowl.
if it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Anyways,
That's right. We're technically not even like started the show yet, and we've already gone to the human centipede.
that's right.
So
Well, you know,
we're gonna end up like Jimmy Kimmel by the time this night is done. It's
as the
horrible.
say, sometimes the juice not worth the squeeze. Anyways,
Dude, I learned about something brand new tonight on
oh
the
yeah,
Hoteps. Something I'd never heard of ever before in my life. And for folks who don't know, I've actually been to South Central Los Angeles and survived. I've been to South Central. I've been to East LA. I've been all up in the hate. That was a lot of fun. Back in
you
the
can get your
'90s when it was still like halfway decent.
you
But
can
no, I
get your
learned something
parking.
tonight. Never known before. Never in my life. Apparently, the way you keep your kufi the tightest is with kufi juice. I've never encountered the practice of kufi juice before tonight, but my eyes were opened and now I can see. And the
Well, I
world
don't
has
think all Koopy
forever
juice is
changed
the
completely.
same.
Yeah.
I've seen people break down different Koopy juices on the batch number and stuff like that. So,
Oh wow.
and
You'll
depending
have
on
to
what
teach
kind
me
of
these
coop you get
ways.
a hold of, the Koopy juice could lead to sequelae or side effects. So you're going to want to report that to the vaccine adverse event reporting system or VAERS. But don't worry, they don't pay attention to that
No,
anyways.
it's
But
I
that's the
think
only metric they pay
no, I think
attention
you're
to. But
thinking
they
of
don't pay
coof
attention.
juice. Coof juice. Koofy. Koofy is like a hat that you wear on your head to protect you from, things that might damage your head.
I have a great idea. We could market our own Koopy juice in packages like Capri Sun, except instead of a straw glued to the back of it, it'd be a condom with a reservoir tip. And the funny thing is, some people will
I think it
actually
would be
detach the
popular with the
condom and
kids.
unroll it, thinking you're going to use that to drink
Actually,
it.
on
And
second thought, the kids aren't fucking anymore. So that's probably
the,
not going to work.
but
Yeah.
that's the joke because it's Conehead brand Koopy juice. The condom is meant to be chewed like bubble gum, not used as a straw. Anyways, Shout out Beldar. Anyways, trust me, you do not want already been chewed condom from Beldar. He's got way too many teeth. Smokes a pack of cigarettes, a whole pack at a time. Anyways.
So who are we not talking about tonight? I wasn't at the pre-production meeting. I missed all of that this afternoon. I was out having fun.
I forgot who we were going to not talk about tonight, so that's good.
All right. Well, you'll have to remind me if I bring it up then.
I won't. Oh, wait. Was it Ukraine? Oh, I just fucked it up. Anyways.
No, I don't think it was Ukraine. I think we're allowed to talk about Ukraine right now, as a matter of fact.
Well, it's been so long since we mentioned Ukraine, so I just mentioned it again. Moving on. Page 2, Paul Harvey.
I've been looking into the revolution in Nepal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because it's...
I was always wondering, how were they able to keep like social mediating and stuff like that when their internet just got shut down?
VPNs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which, way to go, Mesh.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, again, it's a crucial detail, right? Because they as far as we knew before the government fell, like literally 24 hours before the government fell, like all access to social media had been shut off in Nepal. Well, it turns out there were these what do you call them, Yona? They're not government agencies, but they're kind of they operate like government agencies.
Are those CIA shell companies? I thought we were going to talk about shell companies later, but I guess we're going to start quickly.
Well, might as well, right? It is episode 86. You know,
well, there you go.
Got to get it on the record as quickly as possible.
We'll just file that up to file 86.
There you go. So that's one thing that you could call them. I think they're also called non-governmental organizations, right? Or NGOs, if you don't have a whole lot of time and you're into brevity and that sort of thing.
And by the way, if episode 86 of Get Packed Harder doesn't make sense, for all of you Trump fans out there, you're aware of the fact that at the end of episode 86, you immediately have to watch episode 47. Anyways.
Shout out James Comer.
That's right. And shout out Adam Schitt, representing the what's it called? The Southern District of Raytheon for California.
That's
anyways.
Right. All right, where was I? Oh, so there were NGOs in Nepal, and they were handing out VPN access to gamers, which is apparently what you do in times of political upheaval. I guess. I don't know. That might be something for the American gamers on Discord. I don't know. Pay attention to if your buddy in Call of Duty there suddenly starts for some reason saying, "Hey guys, let's how about we go violencing against the government this weekend?" Might want to set off a red flag or two in your brain, just if you happen to be paying attention while you're blowing shit up.
I don't know about you, but if I'm in Kathmandu and somebody gives me a free VPN, I don't give a fuck how many commie buildings are on fire. Motherfucker, I'm playing Roblox. Anyways.
Well, it's interesting because the deeper you dig into this, the murkier it actually gets, which is always a sign, a very, very clear sign of there's no way around it. Orchestration. Like this was an operation, apparently. Well, again, it wasn't the Buddhists, according to all the news media. It was the gamers. It was the millennial gamers in Nepal that overthrew the government, allegedly, according to Reuters, under the leadership of a former DJ. who organized them all through Discord.
When I think of gamers and
Huh?
ergo chairs,
What?
when I think of gamers
Hold
sitting
up.
in their, huh?
You heard that, right?
Yeah,
A
that's total
DJ
bull
used
hockey.
Discord to overthrow the government of Nepal.
Well, that's the second time Discord's been fingered as the bad guy inappropriately, because they also claimed that Robinson was using the Discord to plan the unaliving of the name that shall not be uttered.
Yeah, on that
And
day in Utah.
the Discord spokesman came out and said,
Just down
no,
the
that's
road
bullshit.
from Bluffdale, by the way. I just want to point that out in case
Oh,
anybody
yeah?
hasn't done that yet. I might do it again at some point.
It's not that far from Camp Williams at the National Data Center there in Bluffdale, Utah
Yeah,
to Utah Valley.
that's right.
Anyways,
Shout out SLC.
I'm trying to picture an army of violent Cheeto finger, I mean, fingers covered in Cheeto dust.
Right?
They're all got
I don't.
scoliosis from sitting in gamer chairs for days at a time. But somehow, once they got the VPN access, lit a fire under their ass, and they all went out in the street with torches and joystick pitchforks. Like, I no,
Well,
just
it's
no,
so
no.
right. It wasn't completely Discord that was utilized. I think that much is obvious because there is mention in some of the stories. I don't remember if it's in the Reuters article here. Let me do a quick search. I don't remember if Instagram was. Yeah, Instagram was also named in the Reuters article that I put into Liberty Radio Telegram back at the beginning of the week. And
Now,
this is still
wait a
ongoing, where
second.
they're actually installing the interim government, like as we speak, as we're broadcasting right now. It's happening. There's new a new regime going into power in Nepal, and we're like barely just over a week out
Well, wow, that
from
was
the
quick.
government officially being deposed at this point on September 18th, 2025. It was like a 24-hour revolution. The government fled the country, and 7 days later, this former DJ is helping to install the new puppet regime. Is this a color revolution?
Something just clicked in my mind because when I thought about Dixord, or is it Discord? No, it's Dixord. When I thought about it, actually, the Yona has a space on the Dixord, as well as Grand Theft World Liberty Radio and many other things. But you can direct message people on Dixord. Obviously, that's how I log
As
in.
you can on most platforms.
And Dixord exclusively is the only platform I've ever used where I, on regular occasion, receive direct messages offering me to help join in with the latest violencing against the government server. And I've actually had to leave four or five servers at this point because they're just crawling with feds like a shitty single wide in a trailer park that's just crawling with fucking roaches.
Right.
Anyways.
Well, yeah, it's just a haven for vermin.
Yeah, or put another way, it's full of liars, cheaters, and thieves. Hi, Mike Pompeo. Anyways. Or is
Well,
it
I mean,
Pompeo? Something
again,
like that.
that's true of most corners of the internet. That's a great thing about the
Discord
internet
was
is the
over
internet
the top.
allows you to put on a show for the whole world and see if you can actually get people to believe it, right?
I can't believe
It's the
they got
ultimate
that shit done
stage.
in 7 days in Kathmandu, though, because when Hasina fled Dhaka in her little chopper and went from Bangladesh to India, I mean, it took several weeks till they got that tech pro in there. What was his fucking name? I don't know. Anyways, it seems like it took at least 21 days,
Oh
whereas
yeah.
this is like less than a week later, and
Well, yeah, because they already had
they
the
pretty much
dude.
got it all tied up now, and we're
Yeah.
back to normal, right?
Well, we're that's the question. Whose normal are we back to?
It reminded me of Tahrir Square. Tahrir Square, when you had the color revolution in Egypt and the reign of president of Egypt at the time, Hosni Mubarak,
Yeah.
was overthrown. And
You're talking
what
about the
happened?
Arab
Well, the
Spring.
Egyptian military stepped in and they appointed Abdel Fattah al Sisi
Yeah.
as the new president of Egypt. And they arrested thousands of people that were involved with Tahrir Square. And well, that brings us up to present.
Right. Yeah.
So they're
Yeah. I
doing
was
the same
getting
thing in what is it, Nepal? Yeah, it's a real nipple twister. Nepal twister, nipple twister, Nepal, something like that.
I'm still
It's the same
confused
problem with
about
Himalaya.
right, but I'm still confused about who exactly was running the operation. Was this a Western Anglo operation? Was this a Sino operation? Was this an Indian operation? Like who benefits from a new group coming to power in Nepal the most?
China.
How so? Because
Uh,
they had the previous regime were their puppets.
I mean, China went through puppet regime after puppet regime in Tibet and then eventually just absorbed Tibet. China's already invaded and occupies the northern half of India's Arunachal Pradesh region. China pretty much has a puppet regime in the form of the Bhutan monarchy. And then if you look at, let's see, of course, Bhutan's building that cool 15-minute city. We talked about that for Jelifu.
Mm.
And then there was next to that, Bhutan, Nepal. And of course, Nepal has fallen. And again, it's a Chinese friendly regime. Next to that is Ladakh, which China has occupied, that an area that India claimed. And then the last nation state to the west there is not really a nation state anymore because the sovereignty of Kashmir has pretty much been divvied up between Pakistan and India. And with the completion of the Indian standard gauge rail project from Jammu to Srinagar, the capital of Kashmir state, India has virtually annexed all of their claimed part of Kashmir. It's just a small portion of the northern part of Kashmir that's still occupied by the Pakistani Islamists. And in fact, recently there was actually a hot war between India and Pakistan there. India and China have been fighting back and forth across the Himalayan or Himalayan range, however you want to say it. So China's involvement in Nepal, really haven't heard that many people talking about it, at least in English. I did hear a good discussion on it on France 24. They had a little panel in Paris where they were talking about that, which was funny to me because while they were talking about the unrest in Nepal at this place in Paris, you could literally hear the crowds outside the window because, well, Paris, France is on fire right now. And in fact,
yeah.
just the other day, speaking of the name Robinson, is it Tommy Robinson, the guy in England?
In the UK?
In the UK, in the United Kingdom.
Well, that's not his real name, though.
Right. But there was a protest called Unite the Kingdom. And there was, I mean, looked to me like at least 1 million people. The aerial photos.
I think they said officially it was 100,000 or just over 100,000.
Staggering. Well, the BBC said it was tens of thousands. Another one said it was about 100,000. When you look at the aerial shots, easily 1 million people.
I scrolled past it a bunch on Twitter. I know what you're talking about.
There's no question that was the single largest protest in terms of sheer numbers in all of British history. I never would have expected that. Never would have expected that much. When I think of political engagement, I specifically do not think of the British. And so we're a long way from the Commonwealth days, Oliver Cromwell. Anyways. And England's gone completely off the fucking deep end with this hate speech crap.
Oh,
and in
fully Orwellian, dude.
Trump and Queer Stormer, or however you say his name, they were literally double Dutch ruddering the other day with their blurbs about fighting hate speech, which is
today,
dog
wasn't it?
whistle for when they say fight hate speech. Just today. They're dog whistling about the fact that when they say they want to fight hate speech, what they mean is they're fighting any criticism of genocidal maniac Israel. Typically.
Yeah.
That's the main thrust.
Why? Well, shit. There he went. Apparently that was the wrong question, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just have to wait for the Yona to rejoin. There he is.
Hello, Internet.
And
it's
he's
me
back.
again. Oh, I love it when that happens. I look up and all of a sudden, shit. Yeah. What's this? Gee, I guess I shouldn't talk about the UK. Go Big Blue.
I completely forgot what we were talking about now. Oh, that's right. It's the retards across the pond.
The jackboots, the Orwellian jackboots in dear old Blighty on the Thames.
I'm starting to think that's why we haven't gotten any new music from Angry North in a long, long time. Is because things are actually that bad now.
Was it Angry North and Boris's bitches, or yeah.
Like it's been months, dude.
I actually did a remix of that Irish rap group. And
is that Kneecap?
Yeah, Kneecap. That's their name.
Yeah, apparently they're supposed to be connected to MI6 or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah?
Shocker. You know, big political protest musical act is connected to the government. Like that's never fucking happened before.
Well, if they turn out to be
Tom
fake,
Morello,
it wouldn't be that much of a stretch because they already speak Gaelic fluently. So fake and Gaelic. Anyways.
Oh, that'd be a great hashtag. Fake and Gaelic.
Fake and Gaelic. Oh, you say you're Irish, but I ask you what a shillelagh is. You're like, what? Then I ask you about leprechauns, and you still don't know what I'm talking about. You're not fucking Irish. How can you be Irish and not know that the shillelagh is the stick that the leprechaun has? Come on, man. That's like Elizabeth Warren saying that she's Cherokee. And then you say, oh, you're Cherokee, Elizabeth Warren? Well, OCO. She's like, OC what? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're not Cherokee. You don't even know the word for hello. God damn.
I have seen that on other corners of the internet, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, independently of anything having to do with Peasants Podcast or Liberty Radio or anything at all. Just out in the wilds in the internet, I encountered OCO.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out, luckily, thanks to the Eastern Cherokee Nation and the Western Cherokee Nation, not the only one that speaks Tsalagi or Tsalagi.
Easy for you to say.
And by the way, special public service announcement from your friends here at Grand Theft World Liberty Radio, #welcome home. If you would like to learn more of the Cherokee language itself, be advised that there are charlatans on the internet that would love to charge you money.
What?
For doing that. Don't pay money to learn Cherokee. Seriously.
People on the internet will try to take your money?
What you do?
Oh, my goodness.
And this is going to be really hard to remember, but try to bear with me, audience. If you want to learn Cherokee for free, go to the website, cherokee.org. CHEROKEE.org. That's the Western Cherokee Nation at the far end of the Trail of Tears in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. The courses are taught by my old teacher, Unilog, national treasure of the Cherokee Nation, Professor Ed Fields. There's a Cherokee course 1, 2, 3, and 4 in terms of levels of difficulty. And there is going to be a Cherokee 4 this year. You can go to www.cherokee.org to find the Cherokee language programs that are taught for free by, again, national treasure of the Cherokee Nation, Professor Ed Fields. And be sure to tell him the Yona sent you. Anyways.
So are you and Ed pretty tight?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken Cherokee courses from him going back to 2009.
Right on.
That's been a while. 16 years. Yeah, I've known him a while. To be fair, I also studied under Durbin Feelig and Thomas Belt, because I also took Cherokee at Western Carolina University in Cullowhee, North Carolina, just outside of the Eastern Cherokee Res. And so typically whenever I share Cherokee, I only speak Western Cherokee, and I use Western pronunciation and Western terminology, even though I'm teaching my children Eastern Cherokee, which is the older dialect, but it's maybe 1 out of 10 Cherokee speak Old Cherokee. 90% speak modern Western Cherokee.
So it's like westernized Cherokee, in other words.
In a way, for example, all of the new borrow words are put into Western Cherokee. But more particularly, the Western Cherokee initially were the ones that just kind of got grouped up and moved down to northern Georgia and then moved off. Because if you go back to the time of first contact, when the Spanish conquistadors first arrived in the Carolinas and the Virginias, Juan Pardo. This is just after
I love those game
Juan
shows
Ponce
he
de
hosted.
Leon was looking for the Fontana de Juventud, or the Fountain of Eternal Youth. He ended up founding St. Augustine in Florida, which is the oldest European settlement in North America, down in Florida. But at that time of first European contact with the Cherokee tribe, there were 3 groups of Cherokee towns: the lower Cherokee towns, the middle Cherokee towns, and the upper Cherokee towns. The lower Cherokee spoke coastal Cherokee. So we'll call that the Japanese accent of Cherokee, because for them, every time there was an L sound, they pronounced it like an R sound. So in most Cherokee, when you would say, I'm lonely, coastal Cherokee would say, I'm ronery. So when we would say, I'm so ronery. So when the middle and the upper Cherokee would say jalagi, they would say jaragi. Jaragi. Well, when the Spanish met them
Everybody
first,
else was
they're on
like,
the coast,
why are they retarded?
they said Cherokee. The Spanish then called them Cherokee. That's how we got the name Cherokee. Ironically, because the lower Cherokee were on the
From the
coast itself,
retards.
they died first. They were wiped out first because they lived right on the coast. So the Japanese accent of Cherokee quickly died out, leaving middle Cherokee and upper Cherokee. Well, middle Cherokee, or Mound Cherokee, Anigatuwagi, that's the Eastern Cherokee. And then the upper Cherokee is, no, I got it backwards. Middle Cherokee, no, that's right. Middle Cherokee is Anigatuwagi, Mound Cherokee, and then upper Cherokee is Otali, or over the mountain Cherokee, which is now Western dialect, where they would say Jollagi, like a J sound, instead of Zolagi, like a Z sound, you see. Versus Jaragi, because I'm so ronery. Anyways, that's how that works.
Interesting language. It's very interesting.
And if you're wondering, Cherokee literally means cave people.
Right.
That was the eponym given to the Cherokee by the neighbors to the south, the Massac Chokchi, the Muskogee Creek. Pocahontas's homies down in the Chesapeake Bay, they called us Rickahannocks.
Well, but yeah, it was the tribe that took shelter in the caves during the last cataclysm.
That's right.
In order to survive, right?
Uh-huh. And Rickahannock in Powhatan language means, guess what? Cave people. They all called us cave people. And anyone that's ever been to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky can tell you why. It's the longest cave inside planet Earth. There's over 18,500 miles of mapped cave passage in central Kentucky, of which over 1,200 miles are connected in one continuous cave system now, the Mammoth Cave Flint Ridge cave system. But I mean,
there's
it's
a lot of caves
alleged
in that area of the
they're all
country.
connected.
Yeah, because you got caverns all up and down Virginia as well.
Oh yeah, it's because of the limestone. Anywhere you've got those huge limestones, caves galore. In fact, there's a huge cave just past the Greenbrier Hotel coming from Virginia around Clifton Forge on into West Virginia through White Sulphur Springs. And I believe it's called Oregon Cave. It was used as a Confederate hospital during the Civil War. Massive, massive cave. Right off Interstate 64 and US Route 60, about 20 minutes into West Virginia coming from Clifton Forge direction. Yeah, caves all over that country.
Oh, yeah.
All over the place.
We were in and out of them like all through the summer when I was a kid. It's one of the few things that I remember about childhood.
Interestingly enough, one of the earliest tunnels ever built and the longest tunnel inside planet Earth, and at the time it was completed, was built by Georges Crozet, the engineer for the Virginia Central Railway, who oversaw the Irish labor that used pickaxe and black powder to blast out the Blue Ridge Tunnel.
Damn.
Right outside of, is that Staunton that it's going into? I'm going to have to look at my map.
Yeah.
I believe it's right before it goes into, because you go right through the Blue Ridge there.
Mm-hmm.
Staunton. I say Staunton, not Stanton, but
it's Stanton.
It's Stanton.
If
you don't pronounce the U.
If you go there and you say Staunton, they will correct you.
Yes.
And they're not shy about doing it either. Because, again, this is the birthplace of Woodrow Wilson, kids.
Right.
Right down the road from where I was born. So that should tell you something about me.
Yeah, there it is. There's the Blue Ridge Tunnel at Rockfish Gap.
Blam.
Next to the Swannanoa Castle. Yep. Sure shit. In fact, yeah, they actually named a town after the tunnel engineer, Crozet, Virginia.
Crozet, yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Right off the 250.
Little nothing town.
Yeah, we're right between Charlottesville and Stanton.
Yep.
Well, I said Staunton because I've heard other people call it Staunton. So that just goes to show you.
That's because they're ill-informed.
Not everything you hear is well-informed.
That's right.
Sometimes you hear dumb shit from dumb people, and you don't find out it's dumb shit till you talk to smarter people. And that's why we provide this service every Thursday. There you go.
Pretty much.
Be a lesson.
Yeah.
But anyways, well, I don't know how I ended up on the Blue Ridge, but
tunnels.
Oof.
You're talking about tunnels. You brought up Crozet and the Blue Ridge Tunnel. Apparently, he laid a lot of pipe in Mother Nature.
Let's see here. I wonder, why was everybody talking about the gold price today? It was like around $3,648 per ounce.
Is that up? I know it had come down a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's like the first time I ever looked up the price of an ounce of gold, so I couldn't really compare it to any other data.
I mean, if you had bought gold back in the 90s when Bill Cooper was telling you to buy gold, you would be very happy today. It would have been a wise investment, but you would have had to wait 30-some years in order for your payoff. Oof. I think it would have been worth it, though.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that you can buy today that will actually accrue in value.
It's actually down almost 0.5% from yesterday.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what the freak out was.
30. Oh no, wait, that's just a different reporting service. I know it hit its high, like all-time high ever, in the history of ever. I don't know, less than a week ago.
Yeah,
but it's been trickling backwards a little bit since then.
So it kind of hit the ceiling, so to speak, kind of like when they launch a rocket that's going to go into outer space.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot more room for it to grow, quite honestly. The way that the markets are being manipulated right now, I don't know.
I didn't
I could see
realize that there was such
$10,000
a
an ounce.
deviation between gold and silver, because when I looked up the price of an ounce of silver,
Yeah.
it's like 40 some dollars,
Yeah. It's
42
because
bucks or
the
something.
both markets are heavily manipulated.
And I'm like, you mean to tell me that gold is worth like 8 times what silver is? Jesus. Well, no, 80 times worth? Or I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Well, let's just do some mathy McMaths here. Pull up my calculator. 36.48 divided by $42.35. Okay. Gold is worth 86 times what silver is worth? I don't fucking believe that.
Oh, hey. It's episode 86.
Wow.
Isn't that
How you
something?
like them numbers? So there you go. In episode 86, we finally figured out that gold is worth 86 times
Well, that's just
the
right
value
now.
of silver. Blammo.
Jesus
That's
Christ. An ounce of gold is worth more than an ounce of platinum. That tells you how imbalanced the precious metals markets are.
That's Fakaka.
Yeah, there's no way an ounce of gold should be more valuable than an ounce of platinum. Platinum is the rarer metal. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Oh, man. The manipulations never end.
Again, for the record keepers, current spot price, troy ounce of platinum on September 18th, 2025, according to Leo Bravo, $1,384.
Wow.
Yeah, almost a full third of the cost of an ounce of
Well,
gold.
then you get into the gamesmanship when it comes to owning gold of, are you owning gold shares, or do you actually have real physical gold?
Right.
Or and from my perspective, I've never really gotten that deep into precious metals, because as far as I can tell, whether we're talking palladium, platinum, gold, or silver, you can't eat it, you can't drink it, and you can't even fuck it. So, I mean, it's valuable to a certain extent, but if you need something to drink or something to eat, it's not going to do you much good unless you can find somebody else to trade with.
Yeah. Well, I think we've had this discussion before as well.
I don't know about you, but if I had water and you're trying to trade me gold for the water, fuck you. You keep your gold and I'll keep the water. Are you thirsty? Anyway.
Depends on what the socioeconomic system is at the time. If everything's absolute chaos, you're right. Gold is completely worthless.
And I'll just keep my priceless water,
right.
which is life.
If somebody is actually providing law and order, then gold suddenly has value again, because it always has. Yeah. That's the key when it comes to gold. It's always been a medium of exchange, or more importantly, a store of value. It's always been that way with humans, all throughout history. There's not a single civilization on the planet where it hasn't been, as far as I know.
And interestingly enough, we at least going back several thousand years in Cherokee lore and mythology and legend, the most precious metal has always been copper, not gold. And it's not that we didn't have gold. We had all kinds of gold and found gold many times, but copper was valued more. And, most great leaders, whether they're female chiefs or male chiefs, were distinguished by the copper gorget that they would wear under the neck. Huge copper gorget. Because I mean that was a status symbol to show that, you know, not only do we have a written language and books and everything, you know, we work with copper. We're in the copper age, and
We can make shit.
It's interesting. You know, of course, it only happens when I'm in chat on Rumble on some show, but I'll get in the Rumble chats and I'll meet just ignorant racists sometimes talking about just painting
feds.
every single First Nation in the United States as a bunch of dumb brutes that couldn't read or write and, you know, only had wooden tools and stuff like that. And, you know, I mean, if that's what you think, bless your heart, you're a fucking dumbass because, for one, there's over 500 different First Nations just in the lower 48 United States, and with different cultures, different language, different diet, different customs, different religions. I mean, how anyone could just paint it all with one brush. I mean, it's the same thing as like trying to make generalized statements about every single European. When Europe is huge place with numerous countries and numerous languages and different cultures and practices and blah, 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 blah. No one in their right mind would try to speak, well, Europeans all do this and all talk like this and all worship like this, which is just preposterous for anyone to say. Yet it's done when referring to all the nations across North America. And I mean, that just shows of ignorance. The worst thing at this point is the fact that people don't really verify sources. And oftentimes sources aren't even given. So verification isn't even possible. And, you know, going to the old days when we used to read these, what do you call it? Where it's got the pages and the words are on the pages and you have to keep turning pages to read.
Magazines. Books. I sold those.
Books, yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, and then you can go to the bibliography in the back where it's got like all the little subscript numbers and you can find out, oh, that's the source of this quote and that's the other source for this quote. And then you could go look up those books at the library. I mean, this is what I used to do when I was in grade school, you know, before the internet. But now with the internet, fuck, you don't need to go to the bibliography. You don't need to check sources. I read it on the internet. It's got to be true. Oh, did you see Trump apparently torched another boat in the Caribbean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Lay's potato chips, right?
Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's right.
Pop a Pringle.
Got to keep popping that shit.
Even the United States.
He's been busy. He's been a busy POTUS.
The United States' very own Drug Enforcement Agency, in their most recent report on Latin American drug interdictions, pointed out that, what was it? 76% of all cocaine is trafficked into the United States along the Pacific Ocean.
That makes sense.
And a little over 20% is trafficked across the Caribbean.
Right.
Most of the cocaine trafficked across the Caribbean is coming up from the mouth of the Amazon River in Brazil and shooting right up through the Leeward Islands, which is part of the Antilles.
Well, they also have to compete with all the traffic from human trafficking that goes on in the Caribbean as well. It's much more congested.
Directly in the face of Trump's allegation that the vast majority of cocaine is being produced in Venezuela and shipped directly across the Caribbean Sea, which is patently
again,
false
that's
and contradicted by all evidence we currently have.
right, which is a known media trick.
Mm-hmm.
Take an outlier, make it seem like it's the norm, or also the inverse of that, take a norm and make it seem like it's an outlier.
You see,
It's a media trick. Trump knows that as well as anybody that's ever been in media. News media does it every single fucking broadcast.
most of the cocaine's made in Colombia and Peru, and hence that's why so much of it just immediately goes straight up the west coast along the Pacific shoreline. And that's why we can rule out Venezuela as having ever been a narco state. Venezuela does not have a Pacific coastline. You're thinking of Colombia.
Right.
And when people think of Colombia, they think of cocaine. When they think of Venezuela, cocaine's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Oil.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think of oil when you say Venezuela.
Yes, as does everyone, because that's what they have. So,
yeah, probably some natural gas too. They seem to go hand in hand.
The tepuis are really cool. I would love to visit the tepuis in person.
I don't know what that is. Are they like animals? Are they like little koala bears?
A tepui is a type of mountain.
Okay.
So, like, imagine a flat-topped stone mountain that sticks above the rest of the jungle like a buzz cut haircut. So you've got like these mountain tops where there's a vertical stone bluff that's 400 to 600 feet tall on all four sides, where it's like the mountains just vertically just pushed straight up into the sky.
Hmm.
And it's almost impossible to get to the top of it. And then when you get to the top of these tepuis, they're like, I mean, it's like you're like on a foreign planet or something. Like every time they get up there, it's just all these unidentified species they've never seen. And some wild shit. You know what? For the benefit of the radio audience, let me find a shot of the tepuis so you can visualize what it looks like with your ears.
I think the listeners would like to see that.
Tepui. They're like islands in the sky.
Yeah, and you can spell it if you just sound it out phonetically. It'll be fine.
Tepui. Tepui. Tepuis are the shit. Let's see here. Screen. All right. Well, here's a little explainer from YouPoop about tepuis. So let's roll that bean footage.
Welcome to the mystical world of the Tepui Mountains. Welcome to the mystical world of the Tepui Mountains, the ancient tabletop mountains of South America peeking out of the rainforest. A place where hundreds of meters of almost vertical sheer cliffs separate some of the biologically most isolated ecosystem in the world from the buzzing outliers of the Amazon rainforest. At the corner where Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil meet, millions of years of erosion have shaped one of the most awe-inspiring landscapes of the planet, which we will explore in this video. Mount Roraima is one of those places where if somebody wouldn't explicitly tell you that it's not a computer render, it would be very hard to believe. But this place is real. And there's actually a giant national park with over 100 mountains like this, waiting to be explored. Parque Nacional Canaima, in the region of Gran Sabana, in the eastern tip of Venezuela, is home to a total of 115 isolated tabletop mountains called...
So those are the tepuis in the Venezuelan park.
Wow.
Parque Nacional Canaima. It's Canaima Park, not Canaima Park. Hopefully I'll meet this guy in Staunton, Virginia one day. Anyways.
So those images remind me of some of what I've seen in the western United States, in like Canyon region and that sort of area.
Or Utah Arches, stuff like that.
Yeah. Is this the same continuation of the Continental Divide then? Just
No, not at all. It's
down into South
actually
America?
the Tepuis are the oldest mountains on Earth. They're actually an existing fragment of Pangea, and they are literally in the middle of the Amazon tropical rainforest, which makes it even more strange.
Right? Well, how understanding how plate tectonics is supposed to work, which would tend to explain generally the shape of mountains, having a peak. These are all flat.
Right, because of uplift. They've all been pushed up and uplifted from another crust going underneath. That's why they boop, 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 boop. All of them just went pop, 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 and they all popped up above the jungle. If you subscribe to the theory of plate tectonics, that's the explanation.
All right. Okay, sure. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not a geometrist, so I don't know.
That's the thing about settled science. They call it settled science, but when you start to scratch the surface, you find out that, well, these are all theories.
Yeah.
And
hypotheses.
Some of these theories can be duplicated. Some of them can't. So you just have to accept it as an article of faith.
They don't do a real good job of sticking to language in science either. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Right.
They like to change words around. Well, this word sounds better. We're going to use this one instead to mean this, but it doesn't mean that.
Like, I'm still not sure how Pluto got downgraded.
I'm still not sure how we got so many smart people in the world, but actually I do know.
I mean, so technically there's only 8 planets now, and Pluto is just a...
It depends on who you listen to. If it's Sitchin, we have 10 planets still. So,
But then, so if Pluto's not a planet, what about Eris? Eris is way bigger. There's actually more planets going out beyond, you've got the Van Oort belt and the Kuiper belt objects. And, I don't know if you've been following along here, but, with the Cassini and the other programs that JPL's been putting out, Jet Propulsion Laboratory down in California. I mean, they've been just putting all kinds of ridiculous fucking names to these things in space. It's really wild. That would be an interesting wormhole to go down one day.
Oh yeah.
They've even named the wormholes. Oh god. But it's 10:55. I guess we can go ahead and get into the we'll circle back to shell companies.
Yeah.
And
you're done with Tepui?
Well, I was really trying to get into it until he pronounced Kanema. That's like saying Staunton.
It might have been his first attempt. You never know. Cut the guy some slack.
Or even worse, I actually have heard somebody say Charlottesville before. Because it's a CH. Charlottesville.
God help anyone that was ever from Virginia.
God help us. Well, there's just a lot of dumb people out there.
There are.
And if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know.
Their numbers grow every day, Yona.
It's getting worse.
Every single day. Yeah, it is getting worse.
Absolutely getting worse.
I think if you've not spent much time in the social ghettos the last week, consider yourself fortunate.
Oh God.
The level of virtue signaling that has been transpiring on all sides. Not just the left, not just the right, not just the anti-left, not just all sides. All sides. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, what you witnessed roughly about a week ago was a focusing event.
Mm-hmm.
And if you paid close enough attention in the 7 days, 8 days now after the event has taken place, you have watched the people who have gravitated themselves straight in the direction of the event to wherever it's going to lead them.
Just seems to me like yet another reason why we should never criticize Israel. Shouldn't do that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United State of Zion and to the
That
Republic.
part is comical.
You know,
that is what's making me laugh the most.
I mean, they got stuck in as a rider on the latest, greatest National Defense Authorization Act, which is your war budget, basically. Because reminder to the good folks out there, we don't have a Department of Defense anymore. We went back to the old name.
That's right.
It's the United States Department of War. Who's ready for war?
I think that means we're also going back to the old ways.
Yeah. We got that old groove back. Stella's got a groove again, Spike Lee. Stella's got a groove back.
Oh.
It's like the good old days. Hell, and who can ever forget Harry Gunslinger? Or no, I'm sorry, Harry Anslinger.
Right.
Or go back earlier to the Palmer raids. You thought ICE raids were bad. Look up the Palmer raids. We've gone all the way back before J. Edgar at this point, which takes me to Kash Patel.
Oh, my.
I got to say, I don't know who is doing casting for the kabuki soap opera Fast Times at DC High.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. C-SPAN has literally become MTV Real World.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I'm interested.
I could show clips of Kash Patel under questioning in the subcommittee there in Congress, but I'm not.
There's no point to show the clips because it's all performative. I heard some of the clips and I'm like, this is all garbage.
Let's argue about pedophiles and Epstein and grandstand.
Let's just argue about nothing all day long to make the public think we're actually doing something. That's all it was.
Now, the funny thing is, there's a story making the rounds in the New Yorker and The Hill and a couple of other big time new media outlets.
Who owns the New Yorker?
The last 2 days, this story has started blowing up about the fact that Benji Milikowski, a.k.a. Benjamin Netanyahu, directly blackmailed Bubba Clinton, President Clinton, Bill Clinton, over the Monica Lewinsky affair. And tried to leverage...
Hold up. Rewind. Say that again.
Benjamin Netanyahu repeatedly threatened President Bill Clinton with blackmail because Israel had sex tapes of Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. Every time Clinton met with Netanyahu, within minutes, maybe an hour or two at the most, he was immediately then meeting with Monica Lewinsky. And in fact, Netanyahu tried to...
There's evidence of this?
Oh, yeah. Netanyahu tried to leverage the release of Israeli-American double spy Jonathan Pollard by leveraging the Lewinsky tapes over his head. Jonathan Pollard, for those that need reminding, was the double spy for Israel that stole American nuclear secrets and took them
Right.
back to the Israeli nuclear weapons manufacturing facility called Dimona, which is near the Dead Sea.
Yeah. Which I think is Iran actually got a missile strike on the facility, didn't they?
Well, if you're
back
wondering,
when they were lobbing missiles against one another.
Yes. Clinton did, in fact, get an ultimatum from his national security advisor, Deutsch, who said that if he caved to the blackmail deal by Netanyahu, he would immediately loudly, publicly resign, and there would be a deep state coup on his hands. So Clinton told Netanyahu he would do a comprehensive review of Pollard, and he didn't release him. But good news, Barack Obama got in office later on, and Obama cut Pollard loose. And then Trump later on would go on to fully pardon Pollard and Pollard's handler.
Yep.
Yay.
It's all good, man. It's like nothing ever happened.
Happy ending.
Yep.
Everybody lived happily ever after.
That's right.
Israel has nukes now.
Yep.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Has nukes now, and probably by, let's see, it's just after 10 o'clock here in the Piney Woods. Probably full control of Gaza at this point.
Yeah.
Everything's been shut down. Communications are completely shut down in Gaza. The new offensive is rolling out, and that means soon, Yona, we're gonna have brand new oceanfront condominium.
Yeah, and you're gonna have the Trump Plaza Hotel and Gaza Strip Club.
That's right, and casino. Don't forget about the casino. It's the most important part.
Gaza Strip is known for its Gaza strippers, after all.
That's right.
By the way, if you've never heard of the phrase nuclear ambiguity,
that is a new one.
You're like, what the fuck is nuclear ambiguity?
It's a good question.
Well, that refers to Israel's nuclear weapons program. Nuclear ambiguity is the concept that everyone knows that everyone in the fucking world knows that Israel has nuclear weapons, and at the same time, everyone pretends like no one knows that Israel has nukes. Nuclear ambiguity. Well, we all know that they have nukes, and we're all pretending like they don't have nukes. But they've literally sold Jericho nuclear missiles to South Africa before. That's how we have receipts.
Right. They've helped other nations become nuclear capable.
That's right. So literally, when the rest of the world is,
but they don't have nukes.
IAEA,
they just know how to build them.
Nuclear
That's
proliferation. All. They've been doing the opposite.
Well, I mean, they're busy expanding at the moment. They've got growth on their mind, and there's land to be developed. Can't just let it sit there and go to waste, Yona.
Have I ever shared APAC Man on the air?
I think we have played it, as a matter of fact. I'm pretty sure we have.
I'm pretty sure I was feeling froggy one other time and was like, I just.
And I think we actually got away with it too. Yeah.
I remember putting a disclaimer on it when we aired it the first time, saying that before I show this video depicting the Clinton crime family in an unfavorable light, I just want to remind the audience that I'm not feeling suicidal.
Yeah. But I think this would be the time, especially for like off the wall stuff, because they've got folks fairly well distracted at the moment. They're just paying attention to absolute nonsense right now.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to get away with something, now's the time to do it.
No shit.
I'm not even sure the algorithms are paying close attention.
Good Lord. I'm just what do you call it when you're expectorating? I've been expectorating for days. Just phlegm and snot everywhere.
Good Lord.
What's going on?
Must be something going through the house.
I'm so fucked up, I'm still dripping from every hole. Anyways. We're about to get into the fun world of real estate and money laundering, but I'm going to need to get a refill here. So let me see here.
Oh, we can do like an intermission type thing.
Let me see what I can pull out of my hat because I'm not quite sure. I don't want to play something that I've played already.
You got anything new?
Yeah. And of course, there are things that I haven't played before also. I believe I've already played the one with the cocaine subs. Remember that?
Yeah.
Believe I've covered the one about the poop on the beach too.
Yep. Yeah, we actually, I think we got a strike on YouTube for that one.
Yeah.
Or we would have gotten a strike, so it just wasn't published.
Have I covered the drone bomber video where the cats fight one another in midair while Barack Obama is killing kids on a basketball court?
I don't know, but we definitely need that in the time capsule.
Yeah, I don't think that this is probably the single most intense cat themed video that I've ever made. So I just need to
share it is the internet, so
oh wait a second.
I think it can handle it.
Never mind. I was gonna ask you a question. Oh, Streamlabs.
Have you finally figured it out?
Yeah, I cut myself off before I even did it. So let's see here. Screen share. Drone bomber. So this goes back to a joke that Barack Obama told at the Nerd Prom, which is also known as the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the Nerd Prom.
Right.
And that's where you'll see the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces, a.k.a. President of the United States, crack wise from the podium and give his best attempts at delivering jokes. And long ago, Barack Obama, in one of his stints at the Nerd Prom, when the Jonas Brothers were in attendance, singled out the Jonas Brothers in the back and said, hey, and I see the Jonas Brothers in the back. My daughters, Sasha and Malia, big fans of yours, you guys, but don't get any ideas, boys. Got 2 words for you. Predator drone. You never see it coming. Ha, 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 ha. Because what's more funny than the leader of the genocidal American empire cracking jokes about extrajudicially just killing people anywhere, anytime,
you know what's actually better than that, Yona? The leader of the genocidal empire having a graven golden image of himself show up in front of the legislature building. How about that? How about that, Obama?
Are you talking about Bitcoin Trump?
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like him.
It looks enough like him.
Close. Why is there a golden Bitcoin Trump on the hill?
I have not heard an answer to that yet. I don't know. I have not heard anybody talking about it yet.
Well,
which is how I get my news.
for all you cat lovers out there, I'm just going to warn you right now. You're going to want to put on your seatbelt. It's going to get wild and crazy. I guarantee no one was expecting this tonight, but this is album 86. We're getting into a transitional period here. So without further ado, I present to you Drone Bomber, Jonas Brothers Predator remix.
Blammo.
Refill time.
We build kids from basketball court. We build kids from basketball court. We build kids from basketball court. Violence never brings permanent peace. It solves no social problem. It merely creates new and more complicated ones. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body. Kids from basketball court. We kill 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 kids.
Live from the 304.
We killed Osama bin Laden. 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 We killed Muammar Gaddafi. We killed thousands. 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 We killed our friends and our allies. We killed our friends and our allies. We killed families. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed families. We killed children. We killed children. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed kids from basketball court. 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 We killed nearly 3,000. We killed nearly 3,000. We killed nearly 3,000 people on 9/11. We killed nearly 3,000 people on 9/11. We killed the airplane when it was over American soil. We killed Martin Luther King Jr. We killed Martin Luther King Jr. We killed Bobby Kennedy. We killed President John F. Kennedy. We killed Satan. We killed men, women, and children. 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 We killed kids on basketball court. 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 We killed kids from basketball court.
Those mackerel tabbies are troublemakers, man.
We killed.
They're notorious for that.
Basketball court. We killed children. We killed children. We killed children. We killed children. We killed families. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed families. We killed children. We killed children. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed parents. We killed kids from basketball court. 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 We killed nearly 3,000. We killed nearly 3,000. We killed nearly 3,000 people on 9/11. We killed nearly 3,000 people on 9/11.
Those
We
bastards.
killed the airplane when it was over American soil. We killed Martin Luther King Jr. We killed Martin Luther King Jr. We killed.
Thing is, all of this is believable.
Yeah.
I can totally see cats doing this.
We killed Satan.
And then Obama would brag about it.
We killed men, women, and children.
Of course, Obama
We
would
killed
take credit.
men, women, and children. We killed men, women, and children.
He's been bragging about his previous handiwork this week.
We killed men, women, and children. 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 We killed kids on basketball court. We killed kids on basketball court. We killed kids on basketball
Damn,
court.
that was life number 9,
We killed
apparently.
kids on basketball court.
Should have learned
We
math.
killed kids on basketball court. We killed kids on basketball court. We killed
right.
kids on basketball court. We
I'm
killed
rooting against
kids
the tabby cat.
on basketball court. We killed kids on basketball court. We killed kids on basketball court. We killed kids on basketball court. We killed children. We killed
Smack him.
children. We killed
Look at that.
children.
There's the money.
We killed children.
Now, why do I feel like the other two cats are Rose and Dawn? Yeah, you've been watching an Energizer battery commercial the whole time. You thought
That
it was a cat
figures.
video. Got you. Got you again. There you go, folks.
Good thing they pay for that product placement. So what were you saying about laundering money?
Well, the whole, I mean, when people talk about laundering money, the whole problem is you have a huge pile of money that's been gained illegally or illicitly, you know, either through counterfeiting and creating fake money, or maybe you, I don't know, it's criminally sourced money, allegedly, that you then need to
Any source of
legitimize.
revenue that is outside of the bounds of the law.
And prior to 9/11, it was a lot easier to do that. Since 9/11, for some reason, the USA Patriot Act included a cavalcade of financial regulations and new banking regulations. Which, for those that aren't aware, the USA Patriot Act, which was passed subsequent to the 9/11 exercise on September 11, 2001,
Right, and
There were
totally
a number
written
of
hastily in
banking
the
regulations.
what 45 days between the event and when the legislation was passed.
That's right. And the actual USA Patriot Act is thousands and thousands of pages of text.
Right.
It was already ready
Hastily
to go.
cobbled together.
Hastily cobbled. And so number of banking regs went into effect with that, which made they just had to make a few tweaks to the system. So, for example, prior to 2001, the easiest way to launder money was just selling real estate. After 911 and the Patriot Act, the easiest way to launder money at that point was selling real estate, but you had to use a blind trust.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Because we got not everyone that tunes in our audience is a certified genius. So I'm sure there's some people that are like, but Yona, how can you launder money with real estate? That doesn't make sense.
All right, I'll go through an example here. All right, so let's say that you have a business called Baltic Avenue Property Management.
All right.
Right. And you've bought up all the land on Baltic Avenue. Shout out Monopoly Board. And well, you found a 1/4 acre lot with a bungalow that's got about 800 square feet, 1 story. Even the siding is made of tar shingles, nice place. Right. And of course, you pay $2.3 million cash for it. Even though it's
the market's all screwy these days.
Even though it's probably not even worth 23 grand. But I mean, because we're talking Cedar Rapids. We're in Iowa. We're not in some big place.
Right.
And you're like, wow, 2.3 mil for 800 square feet on a 1/4 acre lot on fucking Baltic Avenue? Really? Well, so what you do, the person that sells the property to Baltic Avenue Property Management, rather than doing a general warranty deed, which is where they guarantee that they own it, and if anybody disputes that they owned it to the person that's buying it, namely you as Baltic Properties, if anybody disputes the title that was sold to Baltic Properties, then the person that sold it to Baltic will show up in court and say, yeah, I fucking owned it for so many years, and then I sold it to them. That's a general warranty deed. But that's not what they buy for $2.3 million. What they buy for $2.3 million is a quiet claim or quitclaim deed, where the current owners of the 800 square foot shingle covered abode on a 1/4 acre, they just sell any interest they may or may not have in the property. Yona can write you a quitclaim deed for the Grand Canyon right now, and the White House, and the Pentagon, and Fort Knox, all on the same deed. Give me your money. Now you've got a worthless deed because I just conveyed any interest I may or may not have in the Pentagon and Fort Knox and the Grand Canyon.
So I can technically legally sell interest I don't have in a property.
If you use a quitclaim deed, yes. Yes. A quitclaim deed, you are hereby selling any interest that you may or may not have in the property, but I'll take your money and here's a worthless piece of paper. Thanks for doing business. I just
came up with an exit strategy.
Yeah.
But so I know. Yeah, keep going because.
So let's keep going here. So
we still haven't gotten to the laundering part.
Head scratcher. Okay, you bought a worthless deed with quitclaim title. You spent $2.3 million and you ended up with a worthless piece of paper for a worthless house on a worthless quarter-acre lot. What the fuck is going on? Well, don't worry. Turns out Baltic Properties was just bought out. And Baltic Properties Management is now what's called a wholly owned subsidiary. But they've been bought out by a blind trust, which we're going to call Jonas Brothers Three Cats, LLC. Jonas Brothers Three Cats, LLC is a blind trust, and there's one member who's listed as an officer, and that would be Tabby Cat. Signed name as R. Christian. Shout out Georgia Guidestones. Anyways, now it turns out Jonas Brothers Three Cat LLC, they turn around and get a warranty deed from Shitsniff, who's already got $2.3 million for the quitclaim deed. Well, now they then sell warranty deed to the parent company of Baltic Properties Management that only has a quitclaim for the lot. So what happens? Well, now full title transfer has taken place to a blind trust. And the blind trust got the warranty deed for the sum of $1. And you're like, oh, well, wait a second. So the quitclaim deed was for $2.3 million, and it's worthless. The actual bona fide deed says it was sold for $1 fucking dollar,
right,
to some company, and I can't find who the fuck is Jonas Brothers Three Cat? Like, I can't find. It's a blind trust. I can't find out anything about it. Well, then next thing you know, the blind trust then sells the property back to Baltic Properties at a loss. And so you're trying to follow the money and you're jumping through shell companies. I gave a simple example, but typically there may be 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of shell companies of different wholly owned subsidiaries and blind trusts, just to keep you. It's 3-card money in the court clerk's office in the courthouse is what they're doing. And so you're able to not only launder the money, legitimize the source of the money. By the end of the day, you're able to say that everyone lost money, so there's no tax liability. So now we've laundered and legitimized untold millions of dollars, and we all lost our shirt on the deal. Look at the deeds. Just look at what we recorded on the deeds. We all lost our shirts. And meanwhile, you're like, what the fuck just happened here?
right.
A bungalow that's got 800 square feet and shingles for siding just washed $4 million. And the lot can't be worth $20,000 if it was vacant. It's worth even less because the bungalow on it would need to be torn down. It doesn't even have running water. But anyways, that's money laundering.
Damn.
In a nutshell.
I didn't know that they still live like that in Iowa.
Yeah. Well, here's the clue that we're still living in the Middle Ages. Have you ever heard of the term landlord?
I'm sorry, I had to adjust my audio. Have I ever heard of the what?
Have you ever heard of the term landlord?
Well, obviously. I've rented apartments before.
Well, it turns out landlords are still a thing, Robin Hood.
Well, I would figure most people can't afford to buy somewhere to live right now, so they're going to have to rent from somebody.
Yeah.
That's typically going to be a landlord. Or they used to just call them lords back in the day.
Right. Hence the House of Lords.
Right.
Shout out Tracy Lords. Darling, I'm here. Come fuck me in the ass.
Oh, man.
Which takes you right back to landlords. No, they're not going to fix the kitchen. No, they're not going to fix the toilet. And your rent just went up.
Maybe. Dude, I saw some prices for what people are paying in some of the metropolitan areas, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
My
Like
God, when I
multiple
went down to
thousands for a studio, and people are dumb enough to pay that?
1998, I took a job doing surveying down in Fort Myers, Lee County, Florida,
Right.
on the Mud Coast. That's the Gulf of America for you geography nerds. The
Gulf of Epstein didn't kill himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had 3 roommates to share this single apartment that was a 2-bedroom apartment. So we had bunk beds in each room. And with the 4 of us going in, we were able to afford the monthly rent at Viridian Lake Luxury Apartments that had a workout gym and everything else.
Ooh,
right off Colonial
fancy.
Boulevard and I-75 in Fort Myers, not far from Lehigh Acres. Rent per month, $3,240. So my part of the rent was $810 a month to sleep in a bunk bed. $810 a month. That was 1998. And it's like 27 years later now. So God knows how much it costs down there now.
Does Fort Myers still exist? Let's find out. Let's check the map.
Gee, I don't know. Fort Myers really got fucked up by Hurricane Ian. Bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It just might not exist
Fort Myers
anymore.
Beach was just leveled. Estero Island and all that shit going all the way down.
Oh, no, it looks like it's still there. I see Cape Coral and Lehigh Acres and Buckingham and all that.
For those that know, it's actually Cape Coma, not Cape Coral. It's Cape Coma. If you've ever been to Cape Coral, you'll realize, oh my God, there's no one here under the age of 75.
Oh, anyway. Wow. Yeah, it's just up the road from Naples. That's nice.
Naples, Collier County. Done a lot of surveying down there in those Melaleuca groves. Oof. I did not enjoy surveying around all the little snapping baby alligators.
No?
Having to jump up on cypress roots all day long, trudging around in hip waders, surveying in half-submerged swamps. God, that sucked. I don't want to do that again.
That's Florida. I mean, that's what you get.
Well, it turns out Lee County was largely bought up by Gulf American Corporation, for those that remember the old Gulf gas stations with the big orange Gulf symbol. Gulf American Corporation. So the oil company bought up all of this half-submerged swampland between Sanibel Island, Pine Island, and Fort Myers along the Caloosahatchee River. They then developed Cape Coral, they being Gulf American Corporate. We'll just call them the oil company.
Right.
The oil company then developed Cape Coral. They had their survey firm that they contracted to lay out Cape Coral was called Cadastral Land Surveying Company, who I worked for a little while. They had the original Gulf American plats for Cape Coral, and that's what we worked off of. Which led to something rather bizarro. Something very, very bizarre.
Oh, yeah?
So, Cadastral Land Surveying Company laid out the town of Cape Coral phase by phase by phase. And in order to make Cape Coral buildable land, where it was all half submerged and most of it was 2-3 feet above sea level. So at high tide, half of it was underwater. So what they did, they went through and they dredged hundreds and hundreds of miles of canals. taking all of the sand that they dredged out to make these navigable channels, they then dumped and made higher ground in between the newly dredged canals, building up the land so that next thing you know, they have this huge man-made landscape of canals everywhere and land, which is just sand that's been piled up about anywhere from 5 to 8 to 10 feet above sea level. And that's it. Everything was working fine till Hurricane Ian showed up from the Gulf side of Florida with a storm surge of over 16 feet.
Oof.
Which then put everything in Cape Coral underwater.
Yep.
Everything in Fort Myers was underwater. Everything in Bonita Springs was underwater. And Naples and Chokoloskee and Marco Island and go on. I mean, it's just catastrophic flooding. I don't think Cape Coral is still recovered. But Cape Coral was a invention of the oil company. So the weird thing that they were doing, though, was so when you do land surveying, typically with a tripod and the transit that sits on top, the telescope, whatever you want to call it, don't normally set those up to straddle the actual fence post corner, nor do you try to straddle the fence property line itself. You will try to find a point somewhere on or near the property where you'll have a clear line of sight to all 4 property corners and the buildings and everything else. And at that point, you'll then, if you're on blacktop, you'll put a nail on the blacktop and paint it. Or if you're somewhere on the neighbor's yard across the street, you'll stick in a 6-inch spike with a little piece of ribbon on top and kind of maybe put it about 1 inch deep under the dirt and cover it over. And that way you can come back after you've measured everything. You can come back later on, set back up on the same little nail, whether it's in the blacktop or in the neighbor's yard, send your chain carrier, send your rodman back out there and tell them left 2 inches, right 1 inch, go back 2 inches, right there. Make a hole in the ground. Then you go over there and you put in and replace the missing property corner, for example. So that's called boundary control. And the arbitrary point that you just pick out that happens to have line of sight to all the corners, you would call that your turning point or your control point. It just depends on what part of the country you're in. Most places call it a station or a control point. I think if you're in Utah, it's called turning point. Anyways, the point being, each survey company will keep track of their random benchmarks. These benchmark station control points that are just randomly here, there, and yon. And when you've already done so many different lots in this block or that block, then you know you can go back and you don't have to go to the actual lot. You can just go to your control point, set back up on that nail that you set years ago in blacktop or in the neighbor's yard, and then start popping in and replacing missing corners or whatever. The issue that arises in Florida particularly is every survey and engineering company that worked in Cape Coral, for example, whenever they would make control points in the blacktop, they might take the metal washer that was, because you take like a round, thin little metal washer and you drive the nail through the middle of it. And, the washer may be red or orange or a different color. You may take the washer and fold it in half. There were all these little things that each survey company did their own little thing. So that when you look down on the ground and
like
look at the nail, you're like,
yeah,
oh, that's not one of our nails. That's one of their nails. Which then led me to the ridiculous situation where I go to a back fence corner to look for the property corner pin. There's 3 survey pins marking the same corner. with 3 different identifier caps. One's 4 inches this way, the other one's 2 inches this way, and off skew by. And I'm like, wait a second. These are all supposed to be the same corner. These are all supposed to be the same point. Why are there 3 different corners? Because every single surveyor, at least in Lee County, they use their own independent boundary control, and they would not honor any other survey's boundary control. So he said it was here. I think it's 1.5 inches over there. I'm going to put my pin 1.5 inches over here. And so one of the only places I've ever been in the country where you'll go up to see the property corner, there's like 2, 3, 4 different pins in the ground marking the same fucking corner.
It's around here somewhere.
So which one is it?
It's one of them.
I guess,
I guarantee you it's going to be one of them.
That's kind of the convention that's pushed on surveying generally in the United States now, is that no 2 surveyors will come up with the same opinion. What one surveyor measures is 100 feet, not necessarily going to be the same 100 feet that another surveyor measures. So who really knows where the line is? There's no real truth. And I attribute this to this whole postmodernism, Foucault. There is no absolute correct answer.
Right.
There's 5 sort of correct answers, and they're all sort of correct. No, that's bullshit. When it comes to owning property and building a fence and getting along with your neighbor, there's only one place where the fucking property line goes. There's only one fucking corner. Don't give me the shit that, I mean, it shouldn't matter if you have 100 surveyors measure the same 100 feet. They should all measure the same 100 feet, because 100 feet's 100 feet's 100 feet's 100 feet. I don't care how long your dick is. I don't care how long your fucking tripod is. I don't care where you set your fucking tripod at. The 100 feet should be 100 fucking feet.
Right.
Shouldn't fucking matter.
No matter where you are. Unless you're in France, and then it's not 100 feet because they don't use imperial. Yeah.
And of course, the reason why is because the last thing that the judge and the jury and the lawyers and the courts want is a surveyor walking in court saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, and you shut the fuck up.
They generally don't like it when you do that in court anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're a surveyor or not. They just don't like being told that they're wrong, even when they're wrong. They just don't like it. But
that's why
they're
most
assholes.
Surveyors don't like to do boundary disputes when 2 neighbors are fighting over the location of a boundary, because more often than not, whenever I've come out to a boundary dispute and one party says the line's here, the other party says the line's there, I then figure out that the line's actually somewhere else altogether. So now I get to tell both heavily armed parties that are at that point both pissed drunk, you're wrong and you're wrong. And it's actually here. They then both hate me,
right,
and start to get along. And that's how I make peace. I'll be the bad guy. You both are fucking dumbasses. You're both fucking wrong, and the line's here. Hey, fuck you, surveyor, man. Get the fuck out of here before we shoot you. And what do you know? The neighbors are getting along now. I did my job. I'll be the bad guy. But the realtor said the line's here. Well, is that what the deed says? What's the deed? Never mind. Okay.
Now, do you remember earlier in the week, Yona, I asked you a question, and then before you could even answer, I stopped you and I said, "No, don't tell me now. I want you to save it for Thursday."
Yeah.
Remember that?
What was that question?
Yeah. Well, the question was because somehow or another we got, I figure as long as we're at Fort Myers, we might as well just jog across the state of Florida straight over to West Palm Beach, right?
Oh, Boca Raton.
Yeah. Clear this whole thing up right now. We've all been following the Epstein saga for, 6 years now? 2019 was when he was arrested and totally killed himself in a prison cell where all of the cameras malfunctioned at the exact time that he killed himself.
But that was the 2019 New York case, not the prior case where Andrew Acosta
I don't
cut
think
him a
most
sweetheart deal.
I don't think most people have been following it since 2008. I think most people have been following it since 2019.
In 2019, when he was taken to the jail and then allegedly unalived himself.
Right. And
allegedly
the story has changed and shifted over time. As things tend to do with humans.
An evolving narrative.
Correct. There's evolving evidence, right? Which is what helps the narrative itself evolve.
Right. That's what Tom Massey was asking Kash Patel about earlier. That very subject. So what was the what's the $15 million pyramid question?
Well, the 15 million pyramid dollar question is, what exactly the fuck was this dude? Because he was not just a teacher at a private school. He was not just a Wall Street investor. He was not just intelligence. He was not just funneling millions of dollars into research that some governments around the world have actually banned. What the fuck is actually going on here?
Jeffrey Epstein provided an invaluable financial service to so many different clients because he was able to buy and sell real estate on behalf of his homie Les Wexner, the real estate mogul, M-O-G-U-L, mogul. That's your crazy word of the night. Yeah. Every time I say mogul, everyone get up in the theater, throw popcorn, and yell chicken jockey. Anyways, real estate mogul Les Wexner used Jeffrey Epstein as his right-hand man to buy and sell properties. The primary example would be the New Albany, Ohio development there, the Northeast Columbus, Ohio metro area. So with Epstein, let's say you're Robert Maxwell and you do all kinds of cool shit for the Mossad and you keep coming up with all this dirty CIA cocaine money, but you need it legitimized. So next thing you know, all your money you're given to Epstein to invest in real estate. And in return, you get deeds from Epstein that you can then sell. And once you sell the property deeds, you get your money back. And now it's squeaky clean.
Right.
So Jeffrey Epstein was like Gus Fring in Breaking Bad.
I don't know if that's the right analogy.
Wait, was Gus Fring the guy that washed the clothes?
Yes.
And he owned the chicken restaurants and stuff.
Yes. The chicken restaurant is what washed the money.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The front company. So although they actually did buy and sell properties and develop these properties. And so, for example, Wexner and Epstein actually helped kick out about, 850 some odd families from their properties and homes around New Albany, Ohio, bought up all the land, did one huge development, commercial, residential, industrial. That's where they're building data centers, the Anduril drone factory, all that shit's going on over there on Wexner properties. And of course,
really,
when they buy it all up,
that's the first time I'd heard
and then put it out to be used. They don't sell it. They never sell it back. They just lease it.
Right.
So they force everybody out. They buy up all the land, fee simple title, And then they never ever sell it again. They just lease. That's the new model of ownership. You never own anything. You just pay your monthly fee and you get to use it, but it's never yours.
Right.
It's the new business model. Ask Louis Grossman what he thinks about that shit. Mr. Right to Repair.
What does he think about that shit?
Oh, it's nuts. Probably to me, the ugliest example of that would be the John Deere Tractor Company. Because they sell these outrageously overpriced computerized tractors to farmers. And then as soon as the software pops up some type of error code, it just shuts the whole fucking tractor down. They can't fix it themselves, so they have to pay a authorized, licensed John Deere repair tech to come out. He plugs in his little John Deere fucking device into the OEM on board, pushes a few buttons, and it was just this. And it's taken care of now. And I just pushed a few buttons on this thing, and now you owe me $4,000 and you're allowed to use your tractor again.
Yep. Until
another freeware update downloads that's actually ransomware, and you'll get to call us again and cop up another couple $1,000s in ransom, or you won't get to use your tractor that is John Deere's tractor that you get to use, but we still own. That's what they argue in court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you bought it. Yeah, it's a final sale. Yeah, you've got the title, but if you don't pay our ransomware updates every so often, we'll lock it up. We'll lock it up, and you're not going to be able to use it. And if you try to fix it yourself, now you're breaking the law. No right to repair what you own.
Well,
so you never own it.
Same thing with an iPhone. You open up an iPhone, you void the warranty.
Yep.
It's literally that simple. Anything that happens to it at that point is your fault.
Well, I think we're getting close to the end of the runway, so I do want to let our passengers know there is going to be a slight interruption in the broadcast schedule.
Oh.
But it's an interruption, not a termination. Just got to make some moves and get resignated. And we'll be back at it at a later date.
Sounds serial.
To be determined.
To be determined at a later date, even. Not to be determined right now.
That's right. To be determined at a later date. So just cautioning people when you freak out. Oh, my God. Where's the Peasants Podcast? Oh, my God. What happened to Get Back Carter? Well, the good news is there's already 124 episodes of the Peasants Podcast.
Wow.
We've almost completed the 86th episode of Get Back Carter. So
that's over 200 episodes, Yona. I just did the math on my hands.
Yeah. You've got over 200 episodes of Yona content and Drizzle content to satisfy your undying need while we make improvements.
If television were still a thing, that would be more than enough for us to go into syndication.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, television's dead.
And I did want to give a special shout out to Jabby Martin, or is it Abby Martin? Abby Martin, who used to be a presenter on RT America. Now, what was the name of her show? I don't remember. Anyways, Abby Martin. Well, her brother, Robbie Martin, a.k.a. DJ Fluorescent Gray. I'm not sure about his DJ handle, but one time, was it Breaking the Set? Yes, Breaking the Set with Abby Martin. There was an episode years ago where she brought on her baby brother, Robbie Martin, aka DJ Fluorescent Gray. And he performed live on that show, We Kill Kids on Basketball Courts by Barack Obama. So the Drone Obama song that I played was, in fact, a very much remixed, revamped version of Abby Martin's brother's. I would call it a one-hit wonder, but it never really
hit
anywhere.
You never met Drone Bomba might blow up and be the feel-good hit of next summer, Yona.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Simply because, I mean, without the video, it's just another techno song.
Right.
But with the cat drone video, it goes to a whole new level.
Yeah, I mean, we've got almost a full 12 months of social upheaval and unrest to happen. They could have, dragged Obama through the streets by then. Who knows? It could happen.
I do have some
Look
sad
what happened
news
in Nepal.
Big Mike and Barry unfortunately sold out from Martha's Vineyard. They packed up the dildo suitcases and everything, all the strap-ons, and
is that why all those dildos keep showing up at sporting events? I was wondering.
Well, primarily WNBA games.
Well, and the NFL as well.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Dildos at the NFL games now?
There's a lot of gay behavior in the NFL. I don't know if you were aware of that, Yona.
I was not aware of that. Yeah, that explains all the ass slapping between downs.
Yeah.
It really does make sense if you think about it.
Also the shower behavior. But that's neither here nor there. That's not for this episode.
Well, I do want to send a plea out to the donationally inclined. Yeah, if you can help out the Yona, by all means, prayers, support, encouraging notes, or money, whatever. My first suggestion would be to go to manufacturingreality.org and check out our boutique, where you can get some really cool swag, shirts, and all kinds of stuff.
Still 25% off as far as I know.
Yeah, there's
they
a lot
told
of
me
good
any different
on there too.
Yeah,
a lot of good writing, articles, and stuff like that. I've got a GoFundMe for DJ High Yona Family Needs, where I'm shopping for number 8 diapers and 5T60 pull-ups. So you can either send money or send the diapers. Email me at yonaaniwodi.com and yonaaniwodi@yahoo.com.
There you
go. Email me there if you just want to buy the diapers and send the diapers, and I'll give you the shipping address. Because it's not about the money, it's about the things. I'm just trying to get things, not money. But if you just want to send money, what is the PayPal? High Yona at PayPal. The Venmo is Yona Aniwodi. Anyways,
Cash App. The kids like using Cash App.
Yeah, Cash App is also Yona Aniwodi. So, but the most important thing I could tell anybody at this late moment is trust your fucking intuition. Trust your gut feeling. It's a gut feeling because it's right. And when you're being told don't trust your lying eyes, don't trust your lying ears, fuck that shit. You know what? You know right from wrong. You are the best interpreter of information. I trust the audience. We'll never talk down to the audience. That's what all the other shows do. So
yeah,
that's all I got. And we will be back in a couple weeks.
Something like that.
We'll figure it out. We'll be back. And in the meantime, take this opportunity to go back and catch up on all the things that you've missed. There you go. Now's a good time to review because shit's going to get worse before it gets better.
That's absolutely right.
And
That's how it ends.
Wait till the geese talk 60 and you go, Hila. This isn't goodbye. I'll see you again soon. Woohoo!
Good night, everybody.